You're listening to Power Talk, Berkeley Electric Cooperative's official broadcast about the cooperative, our communities, and ways to use energy wisely. And now, let's join our hosts for today's episode.
Good morning, Charleston, and good morning to our members that are listening on this fabulous Saturday morning. We are so excited to have you here. So my name is Yajaira Bess. I am Public Relations in Berkeley Electric, and today I am going to be hosting and helping Miss Libby Roerig with today's show, which I'm so excited. First time. Hey, Libby.
Yeah, it's always a great day when Yajaira can join us in the studio. Micah is off doing Micah things.
Yes,
so
he's a very busy guy.
Yeah, the ladies are in charge.
It will be a good and tremendous show. Looking forward to it. And as we always promise our audience and we promise our members to bring informative shows that will help our members, grow, tell them what's going on with the community, what to expect. So we're excited because today's show we have a special guest. And Libby, if you want to go ahead and do the intro for our special guest.
Yeah, so today's guest is Mercedes Rubiano, claims technical expert and vulnerable populations expert with the Social Security Administration, an administration that most people are familiar with. So we're excited to learn more about that. And this is a show, not just for BEC members. Anybody can use this information. So we're excited to share this time today. So welcome, Mercedes.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And thank you for everything you do for the community as well.
Oh, thank you. So you should be already a pro at this because she was invited to our Spanish edition and she did an awesome job with our Spanish. So, and it's like you were mentioning, Libby, it's great information for our community and Social Security. Everybody's always like, oh, we don't care. Or some people, the younger people are like, oh my goodness, are we even going to have it?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of questions, a lot of concerns. So this is an excellent topic for us to just take a deep dive into it.
Yeah. And in case our listeners aren't aware, we do have a Spanish language radio show because, and podcast and video podcast, because Berkeley Electric serves such a wide territory across the Tri-County area and it serves a diverse population. So we do what we can to meet our members where they are and get into their homes and help share important information.
Yes. And if you missed the show, you can always go on YouTube and just click on the little YouTube video. We'll have it there for you guys to see it. So that's very important as well for those that probably want to, I want to see the show. I missed it. Where can I go? Just follow us on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah.
So tell us, Mercedes, a little bit about yourself, just everything.
Okay. Well, thank you again for having me here. My name is Mercedes Rubiano, and I work for the Social Security Administration. I've been with the agency for 13 years, and I've moved to Charleston around 10 years ago. So I've been working with Social Security. I started off actually in Florida. And then we moved to Alabama, and then we lived there for around maybe 2-3 years, and then we're here in the Lowcountry. And I came here very pregnant
Goodness.
with my second child. So I was just telling Yajaira earlier that how we found the housing. It was like I had to commute because I worked. I'm stationed in the Walterboro office, so we were living in West Ashley, and I had to commute almost an hour drive, being in my last trimester. And I was like, oh, I hope I'm not having the kid on.
I know. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
So, but then I found, our house, our community where we currently live, which we live in Somerville, and it's been a good experience. So it cut my drive, halfway through, and then it's just been great living here 10 years. I'm very of a coastal person, so I love the beach and stuff. So the temperature, the weather, the southern hospitality.
The food. Don't forget the food.
Of course. That gets
one.
me in trouble.
Yes.
It's been great. And just meeting a lot of different folks and learning about the culture as well.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I grew up in Walterboro, so shout out to Walterboro. Yeah.
Little small town. Cute small town.
It is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So 10 years, you have the experience. I'm pretty sure you've seen the rapid growth,
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
not only, on our roads, but also the number, the cases, your involvement with the community. Tell us a little bit in regards to your claims technical expert. Like, what do you do?
Well, as a claims technical expert, I assist the public in person, on the phone or online, to establish entitlement to Social Security benefits. So I obtain and clarify, analyze, verify data, and make sure that the public understands the benefits that they're applying for or what they could qualify for. And we process them. And those benefits include Social Security retirement benefits, Social Security disability benefits, survivor benefits, auxiliary benefits, spousal benefits, to name a few. There's also Medicare involvement that we do a little bit with. Although Medicare is a separate agency, we do take their initial applications. So that's pretty much what I do. But
and that's a lot. I mean,
it is a lot.
That was a mouthful. I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, do you have a break in between or lunch?
Well, as you know, we're a public agency, so we're always open, to the public. We handle my role as a technical expert? Besides that, we are working with the vulnerable population. That's where the other slash title is, the vulnerable population expert, which involves community outreach and educating the community to educate them on Social Security benefits, but more specifically on the SSI benefits, which is supplemental security income. And, I could go over a little bit more about that in a few minutes. But basically, the vulnerable populations are those underserved communities who really have a hard time either with transportation or internet services that they don't have, or they don't have a computer nearby, or sometimes they don't even have a phone. And I know it may sound like, no, that's impossible nowadays, but there are areas here, in South Carolina that don't have access to that. So that's where we have this campaign with the vulnerable population, where we work with third-party community agencies in the state, where they could actually help and assist in educating the community, or those folks who want and qualify to apply for supplemental security income. And it's been very productive in getting the community organizations involved, because they are providing a service that that is needed for the folks, whether on how to apply for food stamps, or if they're helping them, like a hospital that's helping them for other purposes, and like how to fill out an application online for SSI or disability benefits, and or even how to do a replacement card online. So those folks in the third-party organizations have offices where people may go there and use their services and have internet access. So they could easily get like a replacement card while being there through the internet and connecting through us, instead of having them, go into the office or and driving there, which again, sometimes they may not have transportation. So the groups that we reach out to are age individuals, anybody who's 65 years of older. We try to do children with disabilities. We helped out with individuals with limited English proficiency, homeless individuals with mental illness, and individuals recently released from incarceration, and veterans. So we have organizations, or what we call third-party agencies, that work with these specific groups and help out with reaching out and applying for those benefits that Social Security has to offer.
Wow. And I'm curious, I might be like doing two steps back here, but what, like, I don't know, intrigued you? Like, what was the passion that you had that you were like, oh, you know what? I think I want to work on that Social Security area to help them. Because I know that has to be, for everyone, there's a story. Right. I know I have a story, something that clicked, like the light bulb switch, literally, right? But there had to have been something that was like, oh man, I think I want to go into this industry and help these people.
Right. So I've been very fortunate that I actually work in the field that I went to school for.
Nice.
I went to college, and I have my master's in public administration, which has to do anything with public administration, dealing with government, and or even public schools, an administrator, that route. But I didn't take the education route. I did it more of the government social services.
Yes.
Because it's always been something that I'm passionate about, just helping and educating people. And I think it's important because you may have experience in your role, right? And you know what you're doing, but a lot of folks don't have any idea that there's so many things like benefit just in Social Security that they could actually qualify for. They don't understand.
It's like the services are there,
right?
But they just don't know.
They don't know
how to get to it, and they don't even. Sometimes they don't even know that it's there,
right? Because
it's not being. I shouldn't say offered, but it's not there for them to know.
Exposed. They're not exposed to it as much. And they think that Social Security, or maybe the majority of the people think that, I know I used to think before working with the agency, like, oh, well, Social Security is like for older people.
Yes,
when
exactly.
you're like retire, like you don't even think about how important it is to have that Social Security number, to have that Social Security card that opens so many different doors.
Yeah.
So, but again, I've been working with the public since through state level, municipal level, and then I'm working now at the federal level, and it's been always my passion to help out. And I think it's a good fit because it's a way for me to actually do what I love. I'm never bored. Yeah, you're right. It's busy. I'm not gonna lie. There's not a day, and sometimes some days are better than others, but at the end of the day, it's about helping folks and having that. I get goosebumps just talking about it because just having that. Exactly. Commitment that you're making to the community and helping them and explaining that to them that, these are your benefits and this is how you work and this is, what you're going to be receiving and then them actually appreciating that it's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
Every situation is so dramatically different, I would imagine. But, it can also be life-changing, and just like the agency's name, it provides security to older folks or folks with disabilities, and so I can see how it would be.
It is rewarding.
So rewarding.
It is rewarding. It is again, it is a lot of work because we have so many cases, and but knowing that we're doing and everybody in that works in our offices and in general in our agency, that's the main purpose, is providing great customer service. And for me, customer service is not just, okay, hi, how are you, smiling and doing that. It's actually explaining them and, explaining the concept to them and educating them of what these benefits are and where they're coming from. And how you could qualify for them. So
well, and we're so fortunate to have so much access to technology, and it's made things more efficient and just easier in our lives. But it's also left so many people behind, and particularly in some of the outlying, more rural areas, they may not have high-speed internet or internet at all, or they may, like you said, not have the devices to connect to the internet. So it's wonderful that you're working with these, partnering with other agencies to try to bring it together, because I would imagine these are trusted agencies in the community, and just helping grab as many people as you can.
Right. And just to give you a brief example, one of the agencies could be like somebody who does food drives and, like a food bank. They see folks every day when they, provide these services like groceries to them. And then there's a way for us to get in there and be like, hey, there's SSI benefits that this person may qualify for. And they will, refer them to us. And, we will work with them. And they may have children who are disabled as well. and they wouldn't know that the child could qualify for SSI benefits.
Yeah,
that's beautiful, because like you were saying, it's not only people think Social Security, just for the older folks. No,
Right.
it's for all ages, especially there's benefits there. So I know you just listed off a whole bunch of stuff that you guys are doing with Social Security Administration, but now that summer is coming, summer is here. Explain to us a little bit about, the citizens that are always like on the go, especially during that summertime.
Well, we're always you are always going to have access to Social Security if you are have internet access and could open an online account. All you need is an email and 18 years of age or older and a valid identification. Could be a U.S. passport or a driver's license or a state ID. And really, for me, this is the best thing because just a simple Social Security card replacement could be done online instead of you going to the office and waiting for a while.
Yes, I know. Waiting the hours.
Yeah. Yeah. And then sometimes, folks don't realize that if that's all you need and you have, your valid ID, just go ahead and do it online and you'll get the card in the mail within 7 days. So instead of waiting like an hour, because see, the folks who actually go into the office may be there for other things that need more time to fix. Like if their benefits are in process of applying for some kind of disability benefits and they need to submit some medical records, or they have questions specifically about their benefits or their child's benefits. But if it's something like related to just getting a replacement card, go ahead and do it online. If those are something that you need, or if you are already receiving benefits, you could change your address if you move online, by using your SSA online account, or update your direct deposit information. You could do that online. You could do estimates of, or even track like when your check is going to be arriving. If you're not receiving benefits, it's also a good idea to have, because like me, for example, I'm not that old yet.
Not eligible at this time. Yes.
But eventually it's good for me and for anybody to know, it gives you a record of every year that you worked, some from the beginning, how much you earn, and how much benefits you would get at the time that you decide to retire, or how much, God forbid something happens and, you pass away. If you have children, they receive survivor benefits and how much they could receive, if you pass away by collecting Social Security. So it's a good thing to have, even if you're not receiving benefits, just for your own education.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've taken a look at the income, and it's fascinating because it starts, when I was a grocery store cashier in high school all the way. And, it's rewarding to see where you came from, at 16 years old to just a few years later.
I was going to say, you're not that old, Libby. You're not that old.
2 years later. I like that. Yes.
Yeah. But then again, like I'm thinking the last time I was in the Social Security office was trying to change when I got married.
Right.
Trying to change my last name. So, and I was there for, oh my goodness, just to change the last name. It was like, took forever. Like it was horrible.
It does. But that's the only one thing that you cannot do online.
That's what I was just going to ask.
Because it's only for Social Security card replacements, it's just like you lost it and you just need to replace it with the same name.
Yeah.
But if you get divorced or married, you do have to go into the office and show the proof of marriage or divorce, or if you're changing your name, anything. And provide the documents. But and to be honest, it's not that bad. I know it may sound that way, but my main thing is always online first. For those groups, like I was talking, that we deal with the vulnerable population that don't have access to internet, then we try to work with those third-party agencies to see how we could help them, faster. to get those.
If you're just tuning in with us, this is Power Talk, and today your hosts are Yajaira Bess, Public Relations Specialist for Berkeley Electric, and I'm Libby Roerig. We're joined by Mercedes Rubiano from the Social Security Administration. She's telling us all the wonderful services that they provide and how you can have self-service options online if you're on the go or too busy to pop into the office. I will say, when I was got married, I chose not to change my name because I didn't want to deal with all that.
See, I'm not the only one that feels that way.
No offense to, everybody who I have to change it with, but it just seemed like a whole lot.
That's funny. And I actually changed my name for the whole purpose because, like, in my, the Hispanic cultures usually have, like, 2 last names. And then the day that I had children, I was like, I'm not going to do that to my children. I'm just going to put, like, first name and then last name. And then everybody's going to have the same last name.
There you go.
Exactly.
Yeah, my poor son, he has 2 last names. It's not hyphenated, so it's more like 2 middle names. But,
And it might be like minor things if you think like the hyphen and stuff, but it could turn into a big deal when you're trying to like I had a young lady this week actually that she just graduated from high school and she was going to the Navy, and her last name was hyphen, and she needed not a replacement card because she had her Social Security card as hyphen, right? But when she went to the DMV, she needed an update, a replacement ID or driver's license. They wouldn't do it because according to the Social Security record, that hyphen wasn't included.
Oh no!
And it wasn't that. So she needed to come and do a replacement card that included the hyphen on it, so they could do a license or an ID for the state. So those minor little things.
Yes.
It could, it's not impossible, but it's time consuming sometimes.
Yes,
so.
It's added aggravation when you don't need it. Well,
never thought about that.
Yeah.
So, what about folks who are receiving Social Security benefits or Medicare? What other service options do they have online?
Who are receiving benefits? Well, if you are receiving benefits, many of the folks that we see coming into the office is to get a benefit verification letter. A benefit verification letter is usually needed for, let's say, when they file, they renew their lease, for housing.
Proof of income.
Source of income, proof of income, or any kind of, if they're trying to apply for any other assistance that they need proof of income. So if you have an online account, you could actually go and print one out, that way without going and waiting. There's a 1099 form, which is like for tax purposes for those folks who are receiving Social Security, retirement or disability. You would need that at the end, when you're at the beginning of the year, when you're trying to file for taxes. And again, you could also do that online. If you don't have access to internet services, then you could come in and we'll take care of that. And then there's just information about the benefits themselves, and if there's any problems or issues with their bank, they have a way of checking their status there, or when their check is arriving, or if, again, we talked about folks who were not receiving benefits, they could get an estimate on that. They used to mail not benefit estimates like every year. I don't know if you
I remember getting those.
Yes.
But then they stopped doing that, and we only do it like at each near retirement age, for you to have an idea. But you could have that online, as well. I think, again, it's good for you to be informed, because you never know. Even though I'm not retirement age right yet, but if something happens to me, then I want to know what the options are. And it is, Social Security is a social insurance program, and it's a way for you to invest, like when you work, and they take those FICA taxes out, the federal income contribution taxes or Social Security taxes, or they used to, or it's old age taxes. That's what
many names.
Many names. Yeah. But in general, it's like you work and they take a certain portion of those taxes out. So later on, when you are in the age of retirement, or if you become disabled before retirement, you could get some of that money back. Yeah. So it's sort of like an investment that you're doing and, working, but it's also a supplemental in a way, because you do have to have some kind of other plan, if you can. Like if you're working, then you may have a 401k or any other type of retirement that's going to help you support once you get to that age.
So with all these great programs that you have online, what about identity theft? Like how is that like on the online portal? Because that's one of the biggest things, people are always afraid of using online just because, they're going to steal my identity.
Mm-hmm. Right. So actually, that's one of the best things that you could do to keep track of your identity or any identity theft, is to open an online account, because we partner up with external partners, login.gov and ID.me. And they work with, they do sort of like a background check on your finance, sort of like a credit check, It doesn't affect your credit at all when you open the online account, but it's actually securing you,
like if verify.
It's verified. So if somebody is trying to like open an account because they know your information, it's going to give you some kind of alert. Yeah. So it's, beneficial, is convenient, and you don't have to, worry about identity theft through that route. So
it's a very secure system.
It is secure. Yeah, very secure. One of the main things that I tell folks is don't carry your Social Security card with you. Don't carry it in your wallet, and don't leave it in your car. There's folks that leave their Social Security cards, their birth certificates, and IDs in the car, and then they're they get, something happens, and then people take them, and that's. You shouldn't just do that. Memorize your Social Security number. You should know your Social Security number by heart. And the only time that you need to really show your Social Security card is for a job, or not even medical, because for medical, they have if you're on Medicare, you just need your Medicare card. Yeah. If you have medical insurance, you just show your Medicare card, and that's why you have that group number. So you don't really have to give your Social Security number out.
Yeah, that's a great tip to help predict yourself and your identity. Right. Don't carry those precious documents with you. Memorize the Social Security number, and then keep it in a safe location with your birth certificate and everything.
And everything else, right? Yeah. And even in your own house, don't leave things around there, because you have family or friends or people coming in and out,
pets. Your dog might eat your Social Security card. Yeah.
That's hilarious. But Mercedes, we only have a few minutes left, so tell us real quickly, for someone that doesn't have an account, they want to set up an account, where do they go to, and also where to find the nearest office, because that's great information that maybe they might need.
Okay, yeah. For opening up an account, you just go to www.ssa.gov/myaccount. And again, all you need is a valid email. You have to be 18 years of age or older, and valid identification. So it could be your state ID, driver's license, or a U.S. passport. In that same site, you could find your local office. If you do the same website, socialsecurity.gov/location, and enter your zip code, it's going to give you your nearest Social Security office. Okay. Currently in South Carolina, we have 17 offices. Okay. The Low Country has Charleston, Walterboro, and Beaufort. But there are 17 Social Security offices in the state of South Carolina. Just because you live in, Walterboro, it doesn't mean that you can't go to an office,
the Charleston office or Beaufort,
or Beaufort or any other. Sometimes people travel a lot this route, and I need a replacement car, or I need something, and they stop by our office. Walterboro is very good for that, because we're on 95. Yeah. And I always see people from everywhere. So, and then obviously, if you don't have access to an internet or computer, you could always just call our 800 number, which is 1-800-772-1213. And we open our phones. That's a national number from 8 in the morning to 7 p.m. Eastern time. So anybody could call.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, Mercedes, we thank you so much for being here today. I know that Libby and I got great information. Our friends that are listening to us, thank you. And like I mentioned before, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We have YouTube, so you can look at the video, listen to it with all this great information.
Yes.
So until next time, thank you everyone for listening to us. And as Mercedes said, you know where to go to follow her, get more information. And we look forward to next week's show. Please stay tuned.
Thank you.
Bye.